What's going on, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get started because, the show is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to. I'm trying something different. Um, I'm actually trying something different on YouTube TV. And so I'm just trying to see if how this is going to go. But we're going to go ahead and get the show started. And welcome into TNT tonight. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a very good episode for you on this evening. First of all, make sure that you do share this show out. Definitely share it on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter X. Definitely make sure you do share that show out. Definitely share whether you follow on Facebook at TNT Blue Enforcer or on Instagram at Titans _N _truth. And then on Twitter, follow me at TNT Blue Enforcer. Definitely follow me there. And I'm just, like I said, I'm trying something a little different. Just trying to see how this is gonna go on on YouTube and seeing how if I just do it itself. So definitely I definitely do appreciate everybody coming on in. And so today's episode, we're talking the 17-13 victory over the San Francisco 49ers, excuse me. And as Brian Callahan gets his first unofficial win as Tennessee Titans head coach. And then also we're going to look at stock up, stock down for the first time this season on who did well, who helped their stock in this game, and who may have hurt their stock in this game. So we're definitely going to take a look at that as well. And just so that everybody know, we're also going to get into the Seattle Seahawks. They had joint practice today with the Titans, and what we liked and what we didn't like, and you know, and everything from there. I didn't really get a lot from the practice because I had to go basically through Twitter to see what actually happened in practice. But we're gonna go ahead and get into all of that. But welcome into the show, everybody. Also, you can definitely follow me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple and Google, Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. So you can definitely follow me there as well. And so definitely go ahead and make sure you tune in. Make sure y'all share this show out. Let everybody know where they can go. Make sure that they know where they can come on in and join this stream. And we're gonna go ahead and get into this game. And then at the end, I don't know if I want to necessarily call this a shut your pie hole or a blue bombshell, but I'm gonna call this. But this is a moment that I thought I was laughing my tail off and was wondering what the heck is going on here. We're definitely going to get into something that our starting quarterback did, and we're going to definitely get into that. So we're going to save that for the end of the show. But everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. I hope everybody's having a good day, and we're going to go ahead and get this show going. But Titans get the victory 17-13 over the San Francisco 49ers. Did go back and watch the game. I couldn't watch it live, but I was able to be able to go back and really watch and try to see what I could definitely see. I see AZ Mick, I see MHVACR, my people. Titan South is in the building. Daniel Berry Sports, everybody is here. And so and bottom tier saying I'm trying to finish it up too. I was gonna try to go back and look at it again, especially the first team. I didn't really get a lot of time to do that, but I'm gonna start with my first observation, and that was the first team offense looked pretty decent. They looked decent. I think the offensive line did pretty well. I think they protected Will Levis pretty well for the most part. They definitely opened up some lanes for Pollard and Spears, and I'm going to tell you, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, they are going to be fun to watch. They're going to be fun to watch. I really do. I think it was very smooth. I could tell there was a lot more running than there was passing. Um, but I did think that it was I thought it was actually pretty good. I think as Bottom Tier said, the team operation was smooth. It wasn't it wasn't terrible. I mean, of course, you got to remember this was vanilla. This was vanilla, and it was very basic. Basically, they didn't really show a lot on the first team offense, but I thought the first team offense was very good. It was good to see Calvin Ridley on a short pass, take it for a long, take it for about a 22-yard gain, which saw the acceleration, which I'm like, I can't wait to see that. Spears and Pollard, I think, were both very effective in the run game as well as the pass game, definitely. So, I definitely did like that. I would have liked to have seen Burks get the ball a little bit early, but he did make a catch later, and it was actually pretty good with that. And also another thing I will say that was good was again, the offensive line. I think J.C. Latham commented after the game saying, I give us a B. He said he would give himself a C because he felt like, he could definitely work a little bit more on pass protection and things like that. So I definitely do like the accountability aspect of that. And so I just thought, finally, a semblance of a real offense for once. Definitely. And so I just thought the operation was very good. So I definitely do agree with that. One thing I am hoping that Will Levis does not do is lower his shoulder more, because we don't need to see Will Levis trying to take a hit. We don't need to see Will Levis trying to, lower his shoulder in for that extra yard. It's either slide or throw it away. And that's what needs to happen with that, because we don't want to risk injury. But other than that, I thought Will Levis did very well, and I did like where our first team offense was at. Dylan Radins and NPF, I thought were pretty decent. And everything. So, I mean, there were a couple of plays that could be worked on. I think there was a play where I believe Pollard got blown up in the backfield a little bit. Now, again, this was against backups. This wasn't against the real starters for San Francisco because, like everybody else, I don't think San Francisco played a single starter in this game. And so, we got to take it for that. But again, I think it was a step in the right direction for the offensive line. Definitely. Going to the other side, the first team defense. Now, granted, this first team defense was without several key players. No Big Jeff, no Harold Landry, no L'Jarius Sneed, no Chidobe Awuzie, no Jamal Adams, no Quandre Diggs. A lot of our starters were out defensively. However, the defense left a little bit to be desired. The first drive of the game was like an 11-play drive to open up the game. San Francisco marched down the field and scored. I think there was definitely some good. I liked the blitz on the first play of the game. Kenneth Murray came up straight up and hit Brandon Allen, the backup quarterback, and, set the tone. I did like the blitzing from Denard Wilson. I thought the blitzing was good, and it just tells you they're going to attack. And so I think the front seven could be pretty good as far as getting after the quarterback. I think we're going to be okay. The back end, I'm a little worried about behind Sneed, Awuzie, and Roger McCreary. I am a bit worried, but there is one bright spot. We'll talk about him a little bit later. There's one bright spot, but there's also a couple of duds there as well. So we're definitely going to get into that in just a bit. But the first team defense left a little bit to be desired. When the backups started coming in, I think Mason Rudolph and Malik Willis were pretty clean for the most part. Even though Malik tried to, resort to running more, and he did suffer the one and only sack given up, but that was by like the third string by that time. Mason Rudolph, I thought, was pretty clean. Definitely. Even though they didn't score a touchdown on his drives that he had, but I thought it was pretty clean. Definitely saw some things from a few other receivers that were backups. I liked. I think Mason Kinsey was decent. I'm gonna mention Kyle Phillips a little bit later, but Kyle Phillips could be in a little bit of trouble. I think he could definitely be in some trouble, and it's for a numbers aspect, and we're going to definitely talk about that. But Mason Kinsey, I think, was decent. Another backup receiver, Bryce Oliver, who got some time. I thought he was decent, made a couple of nice catches. He also had one other nice catch that got called back for a penalty, but I thought was actually very good. I think the defense on the second half of the defense, the backups, I think Keandre Colburn was actually pretty good, big defensive lineman. I know Shane Ray was trying to apply some pressure and things like that as well. And I did like some of that as well. But that was really about it as far as what I saw from both sides of the ball. And special teams, definitely more ups than downs. The Jacksons, Kieras and Jaquan Jackson. First kickoff return the Titans had. I do like this new kickoff rule. I do like it. I think we're going to like it as time goes on. We got to get used to it. But the Jacksons. Kieras Jackson takes the opening Titans kickoff, 63 yards. Made the first man miss, spun around a couple times, and could have broke it, but got it to like the 30, and then there was a sideline interference penalty on the 49ers, which took it up to the 15-yard line. And so they started basically in the red zone, and they were able to score because of that. So definitely good job by Kieras Jackson. I think he's made a name for himself as a kick returner. Jaquan Jackson is going to get noticed for punt return as well. He had a pretty decent punt return that flipped the field as well. And so I definitely like that. And so I was very impressed with those two guys. Nick Folk missing a 52-yarder. I'll take it with a grain of salt. His first kick in a while. So, I just think that might have been what it is. I'm not really worried about that right now, but yeah, that was a little bit of a concern. But I did like the special team. The coverages were good too. They didn't allow really a lot of long breaks either in the game. And again, the game was pretty clean because it wasn't really until like the late third, maybe fourth quarter when the penalties were starting to come. So all in all, a very clean operation. with that. So I thought that was actually very good. So Titans get the win 17-13. Definitely was good to see on that. But now let's go into stock up, stock down. And we're gonna see who I thought their stocks went up and whose stocks I think went down. And everything. So let's start with we're gonna start with up. And there is no way we could go stock up without mentioning one Chance Campbell. We gotta mention him. I mean, this guy was good all over the place. I think he had like 9 tackles. He had an interception to end the game. He also had a sack on the play. He was everywhere. Looked really, really good. And, bottom tier, I'm with you. Chance Campbell should get some run with the ones. And I'm going to tell you why in my down because of that. Because Chance Campbell, he does at least get a look with the ones. I really do. I really do think, that he could get run with the ones. And I think he at least deserved. I definitely liked what the table. I thought he was very good. Another stock up, Bryce Oliver, a receiver. I want to say undrafted free agent. Now, he's probably not likely to make the team, but I think according to Buck Rising, what he tweeted, definitely has a chance to be on the practice squad. I think he definitely could be a practice squad guy. I would like to at least see him get a shot at being on the practice squad. I think so because he deserves a little bit more look as well. And they even said, I even was here and he was doing pretty good today. So I definitely did like that. I definitely did prefer that. So I did like what he had to bring to the table with Bryce Oliver, making a few catches. So I think he's a guy that he may not make the team, but I think he could at least definitely be on the practice squad. Definitely. Third, the Jacksons, as we mentioned, Kieran and Jaquan Jackson. I think they have a chance to both make the team because in the receiver room, you got your normals. You got Hopkins, Burks, Ridley, Boyd. You got those 4 already. Now you got to get 5, 6, and potentially 7. I mean, most likely NWI is 5. So you're probably going to have at least 4 or 5 guys fighting for maybe 1 or 2 spots. And if you're going to keep 7, here's Jackson and Jaquan Jackson. And I think Kyle Phillips could be on the outside looking in. Mason Kinsey probably goes back to his usual spot on the practice squad. But those last couple of guys are guys that got to be able to help on special teams. We know NWI can do that. Kieran Jackson, Jaquan Jackson can help you do that. Can Mason Kinsey and Kyle Phillips do that? I mean, we've seen Kyle Phillips struggle in punt return. Mason Kinsey didn't even get a chance to do punt return tonight. And I see Ghostly Watch Miracate. I see that. I see them. What's up? And everything. But bottom tier says he's gonna take Burks. He's gonna take Burks' spot away. Um, he could. He definitely could with that. So it's going to be very interesting because, I mean, it's going to be about 4 or 5 guys fighting for only 2 spots, 1, maybe 2 spots on that back end of that wide receiver room. The first team offensive line, I think, is another stock up. I definitely did like what the offensive line had to do. I think this is the 5 that should be the 5 going in with JC, Dylan Radens, and NP. Now, I have been hearing that the Titans are making a really strong, I mean, they're definitely making a really strong push with Andrew Rupchich. I have been hearing quite a bit about him, and I've been hearing quite a bit about him, and he's getting some run this week, and some people say he's looking pretty good at right guard. So there's probably a competition there between Radens and Rupchich for that right guard spot. That's something that's going to be very interesting. Mason Rudolph, I thought, looked pretty good again. So I liked what Mason Rudolph did. I think right now Mason Rudolph is in the lead for the backup quarterback spot. Definitely. He has more experience. And I would say an honorable mention, and somebody else mentioned this, bottom tier mentioned this. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., I thought, did a good job. And I think he's going to be very good. He's definitely, I think, in my opinion, that 4th corner. He is entrenched as that 4th corner. And so I think that's a very, very good thing. He was, he was definitely breaking up some plays and did a lot of things. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And so I thought Jarvis Brownlee was really, really, really good on that. And so that those are my stock ups for this game. Now it's time to go to stock down. Who hurt themselves? And the first person that I think of, and there's actually 2, and that's the edge rusher department. Arden Key and Rashad Weaver. Arden Key, because if this talk with Hassan Reddick picks up, or even Matthew Judon, if that picks up for the Tennessee Titans at any point, that's not good news for Arden Key, because I did not even notice him. I didn't even notice him at all. I mean, I forgot to add an honorable mention stock up to Jalen Harrell, who played a lot of the game, and he started over Rashad Weaver in that game and played a lot. And I think showed a little bit more than Arden Key or Rashad Weaver. I mean, Rashad Weaver did nothing. Arden Key did nothing. I think Rashad Weaver could get cut. And Arden Key could end up being pass rusher number 3 if we bring in another guy. And that doesn't bode well for him. Another stock down. Any defensive backs not named Roger McCreary or Jarvis Brownlee Jr. And of course, we're not talking about Snead or Woozier because they weren't playing. And obviously Caleb Farley was not playing either, but he would have been on the stock down too. I just didn't see none from many of those guys either. I mean, Trey Avery gets picked on as usual. When in doubt, pick on Trey Avery. When in doubt, pick on Trey Avery. Because he stunk. He stunk badly. And I mean, why do the Titans even keep this guy on the team? He's a waste of a roster spot. Get rid of him. He stinks. Tay Gowan, he sucks too. Gabe Giuliani did not look good in this game. I expected a little bit better, but I'm going to give him another chance. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But, Elijah Bolden, not really. But anybody else not named Roger McCreary or Jarvis Brownlee stunk. Another start down. And Bottom Tier said, so that's why we was on second team. I agree. I said if Chig played, I say start down. Second team, tight end put in work. I didn't really notice the other tight ends. I mean, Martin Robinson, I saw a little bit. But that was about it. But yeah. I really didn't notice the tight ends at all either. But another start down, Jack Gibbons. And this goes back to the aforementioned Chance Campbell. Besides Kenneth Murray, I think that second linebacker spot is still an open race. Jack Gibbons has not locked that spot in. Why? Because on first team defense, in coverage, Jack Gibbons looked lost. He was getting all turned around, looked like a chicken with his head cut off. I mean, looked confused. And so I just really didn't really like what Jack Gibbons had to offer in that game. And so I just thought, there's some guys that might be a little bit better than him. And Chance Campbell looked better than Gibby. So I would like to at least see Chance Campbell with the ones and see if he can stay healthy, because that is an issue. I know Cedric Gray did not play because he was dealing with injury, and Luke Gifford is mainly special teams. But Gibbons was a disappointment, was a huge disappointment. The backup offensive line, Jalen Duncan, who is following the road of Andre Dillard and Andre Dill Pickard and Dennis the Dud Daly. He is following that trend, and that is not good. I mean, Rupchich, Brunskill, I think are pretty good backups. Corey Levin will be a good backup center. Could be a good backup center, but as far as tackles behind J.C. Latham and NPF, if one of them goes down, I'm terrified. Ojukwu, I don't like that for them either. So I am a little bit nervous about the backup offensive line. Rocky Boy says Dennis the Dud Daly will never get old. And that's why I like, Dennis Dudley. That will never get old. Parker Davis said, do you think Rand trades or signs an edge rusher before the season? I can see that happening. I could definitely see it happening. Either with Hassan Reddick or Matthew Judon. Judon's a little bit older, so he's about to be getting close to 32. Hassan Reddick is 25 and has already been on 2 teams already. Has already been on 3 teams already. Because remember, he was with Arizona as well. So that'll be interesting to see. But I just didn't think the backup offensive line did particularly well. But, they kept Mason Rudolph upright most of the time. So I think, I have cause for hope with the offensive line. Jalen Duncan, not so much. Backup running backs. I mean, Jabari Small, Julius Chestnut, Hassan Haskins were all bad. Julius Chestnut fumbles. Jabari Small and Hassan Haskins can't convert third or fourth and shorts. I mean, besides Pollard and Spears, we don't know who the third running back is going to be. I think they got rid of a good third running back in Dylan Johnson. I mean, they cut him, and then he ends up, I believe, in Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they really should have kept Dylan Johnson and maybe cut like a Chestnut. So I really wasn't caring for any of the other backup running backs right now. So there's still a lot to prove there. Honorable mention is Nick Folk. Missing that 52-yarder. Again, I take it with a grain of salt. That was his first kick in a good while. I do think there is some. I do think there's still some hope there, and so I really do. I really do think that Nick Folk is going to be okay. So that's not a big deal with that. So those are my stock ups and stock down for this game and what I'm looking at going forward. Obviously, the Titans have practice today. They practiced with the Seattle Seahawks today, and from what I've heard and from what I've seen, defense did pretty well. The offensive line was okay. I think the offensive line was good from what I've been hearing and from what I saw. Now, wide receivers struggled. Like Calvin Ridley even said himself, like, today could have been a better day. And, people, of course, wondering if the connection between him and Levis is getting there. He's like, hey, it is there. It's there. We're going to be fine. And I trust Calvin Ridley when it comes to that. And so I think this offense is going to get it figured out. It's going to take time. But those corners from Seattle are pretty decent. They got some pretty decent corners. No lie. I mean, Devin Witherspoon is a Pro Bowler. Woolen on the other side is pretty decent. So, I mean, this is a good litmus test for the Tennessee Titans. Now, I have, again, Traylon Burks out here looked good. Yeah, he whooped Devin Witherspoon on a route. He really did. That I definitely noticed. I saw some with Jim Wyatt saying Kyle Phillips looked good. He won a rep earlier. And so there were definitely some, there's definitely some work that needs to be done. I mean, you got to get better. And so, this is just the first practice. We'll see you again tomorrow. Definitely when it comes to that, they're going to go at it again. And but I definitely do think there is, there's definitely room to grow. I mean, I think, obviously Seattle has DK Metcalf. They got Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got Tyler Lockett. So I definitely do like, Seattle definitely has some very good players on the other side. Definitely I'm seeing like from some tweets, Jaquan Jackson continues to improve. Again, he's making it very hard for them to keep Mason Kinsey or Kyle Phillips at this point. It looks like Tyler Boyd could be dealing with an injury, just a foot injury, could miss a few days. And so if that's the case, I mean, That's not the worst thing in the world. If he misses a couple of days, that's not going to hurt anybody as long as he's ready to go week one. So all in all, from what I've been seeing and from what I've been hearing, there's definitely still some growing up to do. But from what I was definitely hearing, defense ruled the day on both sides for Seattle and for the Titans. But the offensive line definitely held up pretty well. Let's see. Parker Day says, is Snead ever going to practice? I mean, we got Trey Avery going against DK Metcalf. And that's the thing. They got L'Jarius Snead on a management program, which is the same as what was going on in Kansas City. I'm not worried about Snead not practicing right now. As long as he's ready to go week one in Chicago. As long as he's ready for that game, I'm fine. I am absolutely fine. And that's okay. So, hearing from quite a few people that the offensive line, was decent today, that's something to be encouraged. That is definitely an encouragement. And that is what we want. We want some encouragement for the offensive line, which means there's hope. Because, granted, from the last 2 years, I mean, this is way better than what we've experienced the last 2 years. And that's saying something. That's definitely saying something. So, definitely hoping for some more improvement from the offense. But, again, the offensive line holding up, looking pretty decent right now. Okay. Now let's we're going to get ready to wrap this show up with 2 things. Number one, Will Levis comes out with a cologne. And I thought this was a joke, but I actually saw the commercial. So Hellman's Mayonnaise, a very reputable brand, a very popular brand. I mean, nationally and worldwide known, Hellman's Mayonnaise. Find it in your grocery stores everywhere. This is not no mom and pop brand. And so Will Levis has done a commercial for them and has come out with a Will Levis number 8 Parfum de Mayonnaise. And I guarantee you this is real. This is real because I had to look it up. And people are talking about it too. It is a real mayonnaise. It is a real perfume. It is a real perfume. And it is legit. But I would never buy it. I would never, ever buy it. I mean, it is, they say it is Will Levis number 8, Parfum de Mayonnaise, a bright burst of tart lemon that provides a refreshing and clean introduction. Heart of the fragrance, creamy dairy mayonnaise accord, offered a smooth and complex heart with parsley and coffee undertones with a musk base. It is an actual cologne. Real deal. No lie. And I am freaked out by this. Like, I am the screen. Like, here's the site. WillLevisNumber8.com. An actual mayonnaise. And it is a thing. You can actually buy it. Like, if I click on buy now, $8, and it is sold out. You're seeing this as we speak, with all the ingredients and everything. I mean, you are seeing it. And I had to share that. That was off of the WillLevis8.com website. Let me tell y'all something. I will never buy a bottle of that. Well, I'll take that back. I may buy a bottle, see if I can get Will Levis to sign it, and then I would just keep it away, and maybe I could sell it and make some money off of the authenticity of Will Levis's signature. But as far as the actual cologne itself, I would never spray that on my body. I'm sorry. I know that might make me a Will Levis hater. I love Will Levis. I think Will Levis could be our guy in the future. I'm just not going to wear no I'm not going to wear no cologne that smells like mayonnaise. I was telling some people at my job today, I said, and I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if I was a single guy and I asked some of the ladies that I work with, I said, if I asked you out on a date and I show up and I'm here, I give you a hug or an embrace, and you smell the scent of mayonnaise and parsley and tart lemon on me, wouldn't you run the other direction and not go out with me? Or at any point in the date right there, quite a few of them was like, I wouldn't be like, I would not like that smell. Be like, what smell like mayonnaise? Like, have you eaten? So I'm like, no, I will never wear that scent. Only problem is a lot of people bought it and it was sold out in less than a day, in less than 8 hours. As soon as it came out, it was gone. Politician says, I might get a bottle if it's affordable and looks collectible. It is $8. Quinn Pender says, sold out 2 days in a row. Yep, it is sold out right now. Sold out. I will never buy it. I will never buy it. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. Also, letting y'all know, I am gonna do a oh wow, Parker Davis coming out with some breaking news. I'm trying to see how legit this is. Well, from all accounts, it looks like Matt Judon just got traded. Yes, from Ian Rappaport at the Rap Sheet, Patriots are trading Matthew Judon to the Falcons for a 3rd round pick. So Matt Judon going to the Atlanta Falcons for a 3rd round pick. Would have been nice to get him, but I mean, the connection with Denard Wilson with that Ravens defense. I mean, I would have liked that. I don't think he was there when Matthew Judon was there, but would have been nice to get him. But I mean, Hassan Reddick is younger. I would like Hassan Reddick, although he could be a troublemaker because he might come in and want a new contract. That's the only problem. But that's a good pickup for Atlanta. Definitely a good pickup for Atlanta on that. So one other thing before we do get out of here is that Saturday is a very, very special day. Not just because the Titans are playing the Seahawks, and I don't expect a lot of starters to play. But of course, Saturday is a national holiday. It will be my 41st birthday. I think I'm gonna do a live stream from our Titans headquarters. We're gonna have a big birthday party. The Titans fan club wants me to come there and celebrate with them, which I will. If you're in Memphis, you are invited to join me. I'm gonna put that out, definitely. And so, definitely come party with me. Definitely come party with me. Come show love. If you can't be there personally, join in on the live stream. I'm gonna definitely have my Cash App out there too. So I'm like, hey, if you want to send the brother some birthday love, Cash App me. Cash App me, and definitely do that. You send the brother some love at $Blue Enforcer. Definitely do that. $ capital BLU capital ENFORCER. I'm gonna leave that in the chat right now, and definitely definitely join me for that on Saturday as the Tennessee Titans take on the Seattle Seahawks. We're gonna definitely have some fun. Now I may not go the whole game, but I'm definitely wanting to go at least the first half and definitely see what the starters do and everything. And then if the party start to turn up, I might get out a little bit early. So just let y'all know. But definitely come join me on Saturday, right back here on TNT on Titans and Truth. And we're gonna have some fun for my birthday on Saturday. It is like my birthday is actually on Saturday. So we're gonna have some fun. Absolutely. But I think that's just about do it for tonight's show. I thank everybody for tuning in to TNT tonight. I am your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. Again, make sure you like this channel. Make sure you hit that like button for me, everybody that's here. Also, make sure if you're new to the channel to go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. And I thank everybody for tuning in. And I will definitely see y'all next on Saturday. And then we will recap next week as we get ready for the final preseason game against the New Orleans Saints. So I thank y'all for tuning in. I hope everybody has a very good rest of your Wednesday. I'ma holla and tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.